General steps of hypothesis testing are: first, we are going to state the claim and its opposite symbolically. Second, we will state the null and alternative hypotheses. For your null hypothesis, we will be using H sub 0 when discussing the null hypothesis. This states that the population parameter includes some form of equality. Let's look at some examples. If we wanted to translate the proportion of people who like Snickers is 42%, this would look like H sub 0, where the lowercase p representing the population proportion is equal to 0.42. Notice that we are going to change our 42% into a decimal. This is the most common reference when working with proportions. The mean weight of a Jelly Belly bag is 5 ounces. Because we're working with a mean, our H sub 0 null hypothesis will include mu is equal to 5 ounces. Make sure that when you're working with mean, you always include the units. Our last population parameter is standard deviation. So the standard deviation of Rottweiler weights is 1.3 pounds. Again, notice that our null hypothesis is now using sigma, and we're always including units when working with sigma as well. Your alternative hypothesis. We will always be using H sub 1 when refreshing our alternative hypothesis. This states that the population parameter has a different value than the null hypothesis. This means that if you are including your equal sign in the null hypothesis, this will be something other than that. For example, the proportion of students who drink coffee is less than 2/5. Our null hypothesis is that the proportion is now less than 0.40. Notice that again we were given a fraction that will then need to be converted into a decimal when we are working with our alternative hypothesis. If you have a fraction where the decimal value is a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal, then you can use the fractional value instead, because we want this value to be exact. The mean amount of sodium is more than 13.8 milligrams. Our alternative hypothesis would be mu is greater than 13.8, again using the units milligrams. Finally, we have the standard deviation Beetle length is not equal to 0.8 centimeters. Our alternative hypothesis uses sigma, the not equal sign, and 0.8 centimeters. It's very important to understand that the original claim that is being made could be the null or alternative hypothesis depending on where the equality is. Next, you're going to start by assuming that the null hypothesis is true. Then, using sample evidence, you're going to reach a conclusion. You will either reject the null hypothesis, meaning that you have enough evidence to prove that the null hypothesis is wrong and that you're going to accept the alternative hypothesis as truth. Or, you're going to fail to reject the null hypothesis, meaning that you do not have enough evidence to prove that the null hypothesis is wrong. This does not mean that the null hypothesis is true, it just means that you cannot prove any part of it wrong.